Is Mike Tyson bad for the psychedelic movement? Let's take a look. In 2018, Mike Tyson, former heavyweight champion of the world and arguably one of the best boxers of all time, did 5-MeO-DMT and had a transformative psychedelic experience. Now, 5-MeO-DMT, or 5-methoxy-N,N-dimethyltryptamine, for those who are not familiar, is a psychedelic compound secreted in the glands of the Sonoran desert toad. Mike's experience was so intense and transformative that the former heavyweight champ claims to have overcome a substance addiction, lost over 100 pounds, and even found the motivation to return to the boxing ring in an exhibition match with Roy Jones Jr. Now, the dope thing about Mike's trip is there's actually footage. There's live footage of the first time he did 5-MeO-DMT, or the toad, as Mike calls it, on his podcast, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. Let's take a look.
Oh, yeah, totally, man. Your energy is totally awesome.
This guy got some racket going, man.
It was beautiful, man. It was such an honor.
We might do that once more, man. That's beautiful. Oh, God.
Well, we're back, man.
Wow.
These guys took me to heaven and back, man. They took me somewhere I've never been before, man.
Wow.
That was quite a ride, Mike. Definitely.
We're going to have to do that again, man. That's something that you have to try again. But now I can handle it, I guess. I believe I can, because now I know where I'm going. Before I didn't know where I was going. Like, fuck, I'm dying here. Let me go. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow,
Right?
man.
As you can see, Mike is completely in a state of awe, and his co-host even makes the point that he's glowing, which is actually a common phenomenon for psychedelic users. 1960s Harvard psychiatrist Walter Pankey describes the post-psychedelic afterglow as an elevated and energetic mood with a relative freedom from concerns of the past. In this clip, Mike 1000% seems to be shaken up and showing an elevated and energetic mood. Just a few short months after this experience, the effects of the toad clearly remain visible, and it seems as if he's still processing the shakeup to his worldview. Here's a clip of an interview that Mike did on ESPN just 4 months after this experience.
Yeah, I'm dying. It was just really mind-blowing.
Spiritual in nature, though, right? Like you're just...
Yeah, really, my whole life totally changed. It sounds like a movie script, but it's really the real deal.
At that moment, you're talking about like you come to and you are altered. You are altered and it stayed.
I don't know. I wake up, I'm happy, I'm laughing, I'm smiling, I think, what the
Really?
happened? Yeah.
Really?
Had no idea.
So sex,
And it lasts-
cocaine,
it la-
championship
it
belt,
lasts
those weren't
forever.
happiness.
Nothing, no. It lasts forever, but it was only 15 minutes. But it felt like hours. And it was frightening.
Because of that ego thing, because you
Yeah.
realize you're small all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
once I realized that I'm nothing, yeah. I realized all my fancy clothes, my big clothes.
Can you explain to me why it makes you emotional just talking about it? Because I imagine the reason it makes you emotional is because for 4 decades you've been trying to find happy, man.
You know, when you think you know everything, and then you realize you don't know anything. That's a big awakening.
Now, to me, this transformation is nothing short of amazing. Just to be clear, we're talking about Mike Tyson, whose nickname was once the baddest man on the planet and was disqualified from a boxing match for biting off the ear of Evander Holyfield. The same person is now emotional and teary-eyed in an interview discussing the life he once lived as just a distant memory. I would also like to point out that in 2009, Mike lost his 4-year-old daughter, rest in peace, after she tragically passed away from accidentally strangling herself on a treadmill cord. The loss of a child is perhaps one of the most traumatic and crushing experiences that any human being can face. And for Mike to find a constructive way to cope and find healing truly is incredible. Today, he's one of the most vocal voices and advocates for psychedelics' therapeutic potential and uses his platform to consistently spread the word and discuss his own personal transformation. Mike is even an investor in an early startup, Kasana Health, a company founded by ex-hockey player Daniel Carcello that focuses on development of psychedelic compounds to treat brain injury. Now, the question, whether Mike Tyson is bad for the psychedelic movement or renaissance, how could he be? He's a grieving father that's used psychedelics to help recover from substance abuse and finding peace in his current chapter of his life. Now, you know, there's a fine line to walk as psychedelics become more mainstream and receive endorsements from major celebrities. The compounds have been stigmatized for decades and are currently going through FDA clinical trial approval. Many times throughout history, folks have had psychedelic experiences, claimed to have had, intense revelations, and then spread the message with irrational exuberance. This is most often associated with Timothy Leary's movement in the 1960s. And, there's even a more recent story about a Yale scientist that consumed DMT, and he claims to have saw God, and he created like a religious cult on Reddit after that. So, it is a fine line to walk, and is necessary to discuss as we talk about, psychedelics becoming legal for therapeutic use. They've been stigmatized for decades, and any irresponsible endorsement or public misuse or recklessness could lead to unwanted media attention and hinder progress being made in clinical trials. This is part of the reason psychedelics were initially made illegal in the early 70s, and scientific research into their therapeutic potential came to like a complete halt. But do I personally think that Mike Tyson's impact on the psychedelic renaissance is negative? Not one bit. If anything, I think Mike using his fame and popularity to discuss his own personal experience on his platform and to back an innovative biotech company within the space is really commendable. If anything, his transformation adds to the anecdotal evidence of the compound's potential effectiveness. The general public is able to literally witness in real time a once polarizing and scandal-ridden person from a troubled environment evolve right in front of our eyes. We can see his weight loss and return to the ring. We're able to see this person re-enter the public eye with a renewed spirit and becoming once again one of the most beloved celebrities on the planet. I also think it's dope Mike being an athlete and in a brutal sport like boxing, talking about these sort of things. Because there's early research on psilocybin's potential to be used to treat athletic brain injury. If psychedelics are found to be effective in treating, brain injuries like CTE, then a personal testimony from one of the greatest boxers of all time would only be a positive to promote those benefits. So, all in all, is Mike Tyson bad for the psychedelic movement? I wouldn't say so. I love seeing Iron Mike with a new lease on life and openly discussing the potential therapeutic benefits as so many others, including myself, are. It's truly a joy to watch. And despite the incident with a drunk and aggressive stranger on a recent airplane flight, Mike has brought great and super positive energy to the world as of late, and truly is a testament for all of us, to the potential that psychedelics could have on, treating things like PTSD and depression, and even the grieving process. His example is also fascinating to me because we're talking about a person who's once had all the things that so many people in life pursue, with the assumption that, achieving those things are going to find them, or going to help them achieve some type of happiness. He's had hundreds of millions of dollars, beautiful women, every person he comes face to face with calling him the best. And it's interesting to hear from a person that's had all these things, and these different things that people are chasing, and he's claiming that he's more happy now than ever. I definitely think there's like valuable insight there. So before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to show a quick before and after of Mike Tyson so we can remember the man that was in order to appreciate the man that is. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of time lapse, in between these two videos, which allows for personal growth just from maturing and living life. But let's take a time, just, appreciate the significant changes that Mike's made in his life that he accredits largely to the use of 5-MeO-DMT, and psychedelics.
Age against Evander Holyfield worked against you.
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
Life is beautiful, but you have to accept the good and the bad as being beautiful. You can't accept the good, oh, this is beautiful. Then we lose somebody, oh, life sucks. Life is beautiful because life gives us the ability to just know them on our journey in life. We met them. We loved them. We cared about them. They cared about us. That's the purpose of life. Just to enjoy what we had, what we journeyed through it. Yeah, my pleasure, brother.
I needed it.
We all do. Because sometimes we don't understand, like, what is this thing? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Why do I have to go through this pain? Why do I have to go through this fear all the time? Why can't it just be peaceful all the time? Then wouldn't be life. You know, it wouldn't be life. We have to take life at its term, life on life terms, not our life on our terms. You know, we have to live life on life terms, not on our terms. I'm really happy to be here with you. You have so much courage.
Thank you.
So that concludes this video. Once again, is Mike bad for the movement? In my opinion, not at all. I love the attention and financial backing that he brings to the sector. Comment below to share your thoughts about what you think about Mike's influence within the space. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Signing out.